Hi, this is Freddy,
And this is Marky.
and we are here to help you get the best game at the lowest possible price.
For this week, we actually have a few announcements coming your way, so please stick around until the end of the video and we'll let you know what is going on.
And with that being said, let's get started.
Our first deal for the Nintendo Switch is over at Amazon, and this one's for a doozy of a game that I didn't think would show up on the Switch, but here we are. It's Dragon Ball FighterZ, still selling full price for $59.99. Amazon's got you covered with half off, down to $29.99. I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans that probably already have this game in your library, of course, but I'm going to throw this out there, though, for anybody who's been a big fan of those Marvel vs. Capcom games and who don't know Dragon Ball, but are still interested. It's a big recommend on that end. You get a lot of that traditional 3v3 style with assists, crazy combos, and of course with all the over-the-top visuals that Dragon Ball is very well known for. The roster has only been getting bigger too. You get all kinds of characters. Now, I'm not too familiar with Dragon Ball. I know there's 8 different versions of Goku, and I know they're all in this game, but we've also got a lot of villains and a lot of side characters and a lot of different fan service too, from the different eras of Dragon Ball that are also worth exploring. It's even got its own original story mode. So if you're a big Dragon Ball fan, you can get some extra story here. If you're not, you can kind of get a nice, crash course on how Dragon Ball operates. And if it's more your style, you can keep investing in the game. I'm also bringing this up because actually Dragon Ball FighterZ recently got a big balance patch that kind of makes a lot of the gameplay very similar to Marvel vs. Capcom even further. So it's worth checking out too. Like I said, if you love those crazy 3v3 over-the-top 100 hit combos and over-the-top special moves, it's the best way to play it, and you can get all of that on the Switch for half off. It's a fluid, chaotic, frenetic, but overall exciting fighting experience that's available on the Switch, and at half off, it's the best way to experience it, and it's a beautiful opportunity to jump into this franchise while you can.
Amazon game is physical, but this time the game that I'll be mentioning on Nintendo Eshop is digital. The game that I chose is Spirit of the North for $12.50, dropping all the way from its regular price of $25. This game reminded me a lot of a Journey game on PlayStation, where the story will be unveiled without saying a single word. Therefore, in games like these, the story will rely heavily on the visual and the music to induce the emotion within you. Here, you'll be playing as a fox who is having a journey across Iceland. For navigation, you will see a red trail across the sky that would help you know where to go. In your journey, you will pass by the snow, caves, waterfalls, and explore many civilizations. Whenever the fox gets stuck, you have the spirit fox that help you overcome any challenge and help you solve any puzzle. The game is also considered a platformer, since you need to jump from one area to another and overcome steep drops. The game also has outstanding music that is a good fit for your journey. The downside that I didn't like is that the game can experience some drops in frame rate, which means that you will find at some little section here and there that the movement of the fox is not very smooth. And I had to also, in some cases, especially when you are inside the cave, I had to brighten the screen to make it lighter so I can see. But since the game were made by 2 creators only, I don't want to be too cold within my critique, and I'm always a fan of supporting creative talents. So I understand this game is not for everyone. If you're looking for a fast-paced game, then this game is not for you. However, it makes a great one if you're playing with a young kid. The game doesn't have any violence since there are no enemies, and doesn't require reading any dialogue, and delivers a touching tale along the journey. A good reminder that we shouldn't pollute our environment and we need to take better care of nature, which will make a great theme for a little kid to understand and open an eye for it. The game currently on sale for the lowest price ever, and I highly recommend it if you have a young kid that you want to play the game with.
Of course, if you've been enjoying the video, don't forget to hit a like on it. Also, maybe click subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications while you're at it.
Subscribing to our channel will help you get the best deals before they expire. It will help us also to grow our channel.
All right, now let's keep the deals going on the Nintendo eShop. eShop's going to keep it going. This time we've got an indie darling hanging out. This one is Wargroove. You know, normally you'd be able to find it for $19.99. You can actually get it half off at just $9.99. I'd say about 2-3 months ago, I'd say it's the best tactical military game that you can get a hold of that's not Fire Emblem at a full $60. However, of course, the last E3, Nintendo announced that the Advance Wars 1 and 2 games are getting a full remaster, and this scratches that itch. Wargroove was actually made to kind of combat the lack of Advance War games that have been out. But of course, I'm not going to tell you to go and try and wait for Advance Wars. Wargroove in and of itself does what Advance Wars has done, but adds a lot more. Of course, it's done in the traditional pixel art, tactical style, but it's got a very beautiful story. It's got a great aesthetic to bring out, and a lot of different modes for solo or multiplayer. It's got a lot of extra content that it's been adding for free, co-op modes, extra enemies, extra factions, and all kinds of extra cosmetic stuff that you're free to explore. It's got many different scenarios that a lot of previous military games haven't been able to explore as well. You also get access to a very, very stunning and immersive soundtrack as well. For a pixel art game, it does things extremely well and actually gives you some cool tongue-in-cheek humor moments as well. It's a fantastic game. I would have recommended getting it at just $20, but it's actually half off at just $10. It's a great way to experience military strategy if you haven't done it before, or if you're just sitting there tapping your toes waiting for the Advance Wars remake to come out. This is a great game to pick up and enjoy and experience a new genre, or get a taste of the olden days while you're at it.
Nintendo eShop is still killing it with sales. The next game we have is Saints Row the Third full package for $13.99, dropping all the way from $40. We don't think that you'll ever get the GTA game on the Switch, but this surprise release is the closest it gets to it. You'll be able to explore the city, steal any car, and do your own thing in the city, except that the game is full of silly moments, sexual jokes, and oddly looking gangsters. The game is also full of side missions, and it will allow you to play the game locally with a friend and offers online gameplay. Basically, you are part of a gang who wants to take over the city, but there are also other gangs who are competing with you to have the upper hand. This release does get some visual upgrades from the original game that was originally released on the Xbox 360, but don't expect mind-blowing improvements. Also, there are some drops in frame rates here and there, but overall the game still runs very smoothly. This robust sandbox game is worth playing on the Switch, but definitely it's not made for the little kids, and in my opinion, it's totally worth having Saints Row at the lowest price ever we have seen for this game.
Now, sadly, we don't have any honorable mentions for you this week. The Nintendo Switch sales are a little slim this time, so we managed to stick to a lot of them on the eShop, but some on Amazon as well. But don't forget, a lot of the games that we've talked about in our previous Nintendo Switch videos, a lot of the sales are still applicable. So if you haven't checked out our playlist on the channel, feel free to give it a shot so you can keep an eye on even more Switch games and save more money. And on that note, we actually have a few announcements waiting for you. Our first one is that we're actually going to be diving into YouTube stories. And for the Switch, it's one of the best ways to take advantage of it, because there's going to be a lot of sales that are pretty quick and a lot of flash sales at other retailers that maybe last a day, 2 days, and we want to make sure that you guys stay on top of it. So with these YouTube stories, we can make quick little videos letting you know of these sales, since our editing process sadly doesn't allow for too much wiggle room when we try to jump on these sales as quick as possible. And being subscribed to us means you get to access a lot of those YouTube stories, which means if you haven't already, feel free to check it out, and you guys get to see even more sales as possible in addition to our regular uploads. And speaking of keeping things as up to date as possible, Gaming Input finally has its own Twitter. In addition to regular uploads every week that we do, we'll of course be letting you know on that as well. Same deal applies with the flash sales and a lot of the quick sales that'll be happening around. We want to make sure you stay up to date. So if you're more of a Twitter user, we're going to be putting our handle in the description as well. I'm going to put it up here on the video starting right now, and you'll be able to keep up to date without needing to necessarily watch a video, but we will have plenty of links and deals to let you guys know, so that way you can check out our YouTube channel to see a lot more in-depth detail of what games are on sale. But if you're looking for some quick sales that you can jump on as soon as possible from the comfort of your own phone, you can check us out on Twitter as well.
We hope you enjoyed our video for this week. Let us know in the comments below if you played any of the games that we mentioned.
And of course, our question we posed to you, we've been covering a lot of details for a lot of the games that are on sale, but do you rather prefer a format of a bunch of games on sale, and with very little details. If you got any opinions, feel free to let them know down below.
Thank you, and be sure to check our channel next week for more deals. Or if you own another console like PlayStation or Xbox, we also have separate video for those. So make sure you check them out.
See you next week.
See you.